Okay, so it's already letting me.
Yep, and now you can
So I can, okay, perfect.
and then we'll have to,
I have it muted. Could I just go ahead and make Donna a presenter then too?
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, make her a presenter, Sally. Donna, can you hear us?
If you can't hear, or you can, but can't unmute, put that in the chat.
Chat's disabled.
Chat's disabled too. Never mind. Do a reaction with raised hand. I would assume she logged on to be on. She knows had asked you to come help.
Yeah, I mean, we can see that the mic is lighting up for us, so audio's coming out.
Audio's coming on our end.
Yeah. And we have the camera, so.
I'll text Donna.
Yeah, because we can pull up the chat through here, but chat is disabled, I think, right? Meaning
On my,
has temporarily. Maybe if you get promoted to test.
well, this is the one that was driving as far as recognizes.
See, that's interesting, because the first meeting I ran, chat was completely disabled to where no one could chat, but now this one is.
Can I send her a text? So I'll keep this box over here. I can make this smaller, right? Smaller.
All right, I'm gonna run back up to the office real quick. I'm gonna join the meeting.
Okay.
I'll
There's
enable
a-
my microphone.
There's just chat. Oh, you test the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you, but I can't seem to unmute. Okay, we're working on that.
You have full privileges.
Oh, you can, you
Yeah,
should
there
be
you go.
able to
You
do
can unmute
everything.
your camera or your microphone now.
Try your microphone. It's the little handy dandy mic thing right next to the leave button.
There you go.
Hello?
Yes. Perfect.
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
I think we got everything set up.
Okay.
There should be no things. You can see all my little desktop icons. Okay, I'll bring up the agenda. Sweet, we're good. Thank you. This was helpful. And
I'll join on my end, just keep everything up just to make sure.
absolutely, yeah. Oh, come on now.
Oh, are you not connected today?
Now, for some reason it goes to the public.
Public, yeah.
I don't know why.
Probably because on one phone you had better luck getting
Public than.
internet than public.
I wouldn't be surprised. They did switch me with my phone to use the public, which was new, but it works fine. Every now and then I jump back on the private.
I would say, tomorrow, if you have time to.
Oh,
fix
for
that
the
authenticator.
authentication, okay.
Just
That's,
stop by.
yeah, now that I remember, I definitely want to get it off the other one because it's hit me before, but I've always seemed to be able to find a workaround, so.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And
Awesome.
appreciate, your extra help. Thank you.
Yes, I'll be in the chat.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so I will get rid of that. All right. Well, now I get to eat. And if you're still around, Donna, which I can't really tell, feel free to join us at 4. And look, I think we have everything squared away.
All right, is everything good? Anything changed?
Everything's good. I just turned off the camera, so no one had to watch me eat. But everything's good. I'm just prepping my folders to get the running.
Alrighty then.
Honestly, with your help just now, I think there's not too much more I need to really learn, so should be good moving forward. Really appreciate it.
Always happy to help.
Hey, Donna, we can hear, maybe typing. You're more than welcome to mute yourself until you're ready to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you.
All right, all right, hang on.
I never got a double raise before.
It will definitely be worth it.
Moving on.
What I'll do is I'll just, since we're 6 minutes past, I'll just go ahead and call the meeting to order. So I'd like to call to order the Monroe County Surveyor Review Board meeting for January 23rd, 2024, our first meeting of the new year. So thanks, Mr. Deckard and Ms. Ozer for being here. We do have a quorum. I also want to give a special thanks to Elijah. He made himself available with TSD to come here and walk me through the Teams, because now we're using a Teams meeting. So thank you. I appreciate that. Donna, if you could help me send a thank you to Greg and the help desk for Elijah's effort today, that would be most appreciative. And also I wanted to indicate that Donna is joining us virtually, which also is going to give us another perspective of how this
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
how this meeting is conducted. So I had asked her to kind of also provide feedback of ways where it's more pleasant to the viewers. So, with that, we called to order. We got approval of agenda, so I'd be looking for approval of the agenda. We don't have any changes.
Motion to approve.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve.
All right, since we, awesome, motion and second, let's jump that. And since we have no member attending virtually, I'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. All right. The agenda is approved. We'll go with approval of the minutes from the November 28th. I can scan through them, but if you had time to look them over and are comfortable, I am looking for a motion.
I got it.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion
Second.
and a second, voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, opposed, same sign. All right, hearing none, the minutes are approved. We're on new business. We have a kind of a light agenda because I don't know if I indicated, we have a hard stop around 4:45 if possible. Really, what we wanted to do was introduce Mike Shepard. It's really hard for me to get used to Mike because I only knew him as Michael Shepard over the last almost 19 years at the office. But I will say that I am extremely excited to have him on board. He's been with us for several weeks now, and I couldn't be happier with the turnout. And I really look forward to him being part of our team at the surveyor's office, and his expertise and what he can add is just amazing. So it took us a little while, but we got it done again. So I'm really happy. Thanks for being here.
Appreciate it, Mike. Thank you
Yeah.
for stepping up, buddy.
And would you like to share or say anything?
I mean, I like, the section corner thing is just my thing. I love doing section corners. I'm kind of technology challenged. I've never done a whole lot of AutoCAD drafting, or like I say, this Javad is a new animal for me. But we'll get there.
Sure enough.
And one thing I've kind of been sharing with a lot of people is like, I feel like we have a very strong chain here. Any link that we need some expertise in, one of our other folks on the team can provide that. So it's like, it's really worked out great, and I'm excited.
Yeah, Jason's helped me immensely.
Yeah, so we, again, couldn't really ask for a better fit. Under the circumstances, this is easier than I anticipated, so that's great. With that, we'll just move to the new service agreements. This might have been just left on there before we executed, but we reached out to Mr. Deckard and Ms. Ozer, and we had received one from Mr. Deckard. Everything looks pretty straightforward, so we plan to put that on the commissioner's agenda. We're anticipating some feedback from Ms. Ozer, and then as soon as we get that, if everything looks thumbs up, we'll then just slot down the commissioner's agenda. We have a deadline Friday at noon, which we'll be submitting yours, so no rush at all. But if you're able to, we could then pair them both together and only go to the commissioners for approval one time. But regardless, whatever works best for you is ideal for us, obviously.
Did you pass the message along to Jason to send me those cash sheets and stuff?
No, Donna was gonna do that. So okay, we'll do that.
I got missed, I'm sorry.
Just the materials?
All the raw folders
Oh, yeah,
of the
yeah.
corners.
It's been on my mind, I think, what you guys all that stuff.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I just wanted it before I quote.
Oh, that makes sense,
So-
yeah.
okay. Perfect. Well, then, obviously, I always open up, this for questions or comments from the board. None? All right. I will keep just moving along. So brings us to certification of corners. We did,
One question on it.
Yes.
So are you adjoining Richmond Township, are you coming from the south and going north? Is that, I don't know what.
no, you guys are not,
We're not.
you're not connected.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
we-
do 3 sections in the south part of Van Buren.
Yeah.
That's what I did last time.
Right.
I don't know, are you touching what you did
I'm
last
touching
time?
what I did, but I'm going south.
I'm
So
going
You're
north.
going north.
Yeah.
So you're still further south.
I think we still have a 3-section gap
Yeah, they're-
between us.
Okay.
The north 3 sections and Van Buren.
and we pared them down to 3 sections because it's kind of gonna be the most reasonable way to budget our funds and make sure that they're sustainable and healthy, so. Plus,
I was just making sure there was no redundancy there on that township
Yeah,
line.
no, I had a question about it
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
whenever I talked to John, is there somebody else working it?
Coming down.
Are we meeting up or we should coordinate if we are?
Right, okay, all right.
great question. All right, well, we'll move to certification of corners. We did review this with Mr. Shepherd, but again, this is kind of our previous preservation type of approach, and we just kind of went over them. So we, moving forward, we'll have Mr. Shepherd more involved with our board agenda. But right now, this is kind of what we've been doing without a PS on board. So, or PLS. I'm just gonna say PLS after that last conference or convention,
What?
because I don't know,
The state law says PS.
just PS,
I never
PS.
did change my stand.
Gary
What if I
Kent-
do
Never been
RLS?
big on the PS
Gary
thing
Kent
personally.
just
It's like somebody got
specifically talked
insecure
about
that
how-
we weren't getting enough.
See, I missed his
Yeah.
session.
You know what, I'm
All
trying
right.
to throw myself a lane through, so
Me too,
LS.
me too. And
Or,
what we get from the state still says.
well, we have all of them, a RLS, a LS, a PS, a PLS. So we're covered. With that, we'll just move right to the section corner. I'm gonna kind of split my screen real quick. Got my records. And we are looking at Indian Creek C05. And Jason, if you wanted, I05, thank you. If you wanted to,
This
Add
was
anything?
one that, Decker Land Survey did through the, core documentation program, but it wasn't on the survey that they brought in at the time, but it showed up on a subsequent survey, so we're able to count it now. I think you guys took a good look at it, but it just wasn't on the survey, so we didn't certify it.
yeah,
So does it need to have a reference to recorded survey added to it?
It has been added.
It has.
Yeah, I was gonna say, cause in the draft right here, it just says date and then has job number, so you
Yeah.
guys have inserted. the
I
instrument
believe I
number
have
into it
the new
now.
one up, right, Jason? It was underscored as 2.
It still has a blank.
Is this the blank?
Yeah.
Let me see if
I think I
it's,
put it in the theory location, maybe that's why.
okay, so we could just add it in
Yeah, I
there.
didn't see that.
Oh, okay.
Is it in the theory, Jason?
Yes.
So it is referenced, basically, for the public certification that, any monument that goes through the corner documentation program needs to be tied to a recorded survey. Eric was in this area prior, and had done the documentation, but, unfortunately, he didn't submit that with the survey that he recorded first. So since he had another survey, he then went ahead and added this to that. So now it meets all the criteria to go through the program, and we're comfortable with it. And yeah,
the date that I'm showing here on the drawings that got recorded is December 5th, 2022. I see that you've got an instrument number, but if you was looking for the date in the column here, it is December 5th, 2022.
So that goes in the blank.
That goes in the blank. Okay.
Well, I noticed there was a discrepancy on one of the witnesses, but it looks like it's pretty obvious it was a typo in the old witness that was accepted in 2007, so maybe we talked about that last time. But I'm good with this.
Okay, what we've done is, through this process is, have a recommendation, a second, and then typically the surveyor that went through the program, recuses themselves.
Okay, motion to approve Indian Creek IO5.
I recuse.
Well, you can second the
I can
motion.
still second.
Yeah,
Second.
yeah, and then I'll do a voice vote. Eric Deckard?
Recuse.
Nice. Rachel Ozer?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so motion passes, awesome, moving right along. This could, I'm not gonna jinx myself, I won't say
Better
anything.
not.
All right, so we're moving right to Washington 013. And Jason, would you have anything to provide as I'm?
This is the one that got tabled last time because I was just observing the Friday 1993 monument record where he was going to the face of the trees. I went out there and cut those trees up, put some mag nails and went to the center line. So the bearings should be the same and distances are different though.
Correct, and as you can see, with the witnesses, B, C, and D all reference the old 1993 tie sheet. We still have the same stone, and this is, originally was cited under the Friley administration. Would you like me to read the theory or pull up any surveys?
So this one was on the table the last time you said?
Yes.
Just because of tie.
Gotcha. So motion to approve Washington 013.
Okay,
Second.
we have a motion and a second. I will go ahead and do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Awesome, opposed, same sign. Hearing none. Washington 013 is approved. Okay. Now we are moving to Perry 021. And Jason, is there anything you'd like to?
This one has been looked at quite a few times. I think there was a Friday monument record. Deckard Land Surveying did one for Vic Farkas in 2004. And then the Surveyor's Office did one in 2007, certified 2011. I think it was over confusion about the street that was dedicated to the north of Railtown Road. That street was named Lucas Road when Deckard Land Surveying was out there, and then it was, an affidavit was filed by planning to change the name of the road to Luke's Court. When they put Luke's Court or Luke's Road in there, they obliterated one of the bearing trees, a hackberry tree, so hackberry. That one I always mess up.
That's what we have, Hackberry.
Okay, good. Yeah, so they obliterated that, so we couldn't find it obviously because it was in the middle of the road, so we found another hackberry and put a mag nail in that, not to the center of the tree though. It's kind of hard to, it was on a fence line, it's hard to get a line of sight to the center.
And as you see, witness D references the old monument, 2011. Also, Jason pointed out that this had to be a wrong drawing because the road's there or something to that effect. So when I drew this back in 2009, I completely drew it wrong because that measurement goes right to the middle of the road, so.
There was no field books for this, it was just based on the Friday ties and,
We were under the assumption that this was asked to be redrawn by, Mr. Kevin Enright in, 2009. And I don't recall drafting it by any means, but it is one of my ties that I drafted.
And we think this note, well, I'm assuming it's just because didn't have Perry here, so somebody went out looking for it, and it wasn't the right spot, but
That
I
was,
just checked the coordinates.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and I think we might have looked at the one I was confused with in the past meeting. But
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what.
Yeah,
So outside of the history of it, we still have the same monument, and there's a lot of surveyors that have used this recently. Most recently, on the recorder, or filed in the recorder's office, was a 2021 survey by Doug Grant.
Fencing on the northwest, or north of that was, been removed, and it's just an empty yard right now. So that fence post was no longer there. There's an obliterated tree at C. Yeah.
You want this one, Rachel?
I went through the whole packet before, and
You're good.
I'm good.
Okay.
A motion to approve Perry 021.
We have a motion and a second. I'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, opposed, same sign. Hearing none, Perry 021 is approved. Right,
Can I make a comment about?
absolutely.
Well, actually, Eric, I'll just remind you. You just were at this corner a month before they were for the Williams Cave type A for Indiana Karst Conservancy. I think they probably under flagging this stuff on it would be my guess, all that pink.
Yeah.
Cause you guys don't use pink.
Yeah, we don't.
And they recapped it, but you had found it. I looked at your survey
I got you, so you compared them already.
and you had, found it just like a really badly damaged cap in June and then they were there in July. So,
So if that hasn't went through OpenGov, we're gonna look at it and it's not gonna be consistent with our new record. We're
I think it's already been recorded.
ask you what's going on.
East side went to the west of it.
Has it already been reported?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it referenced in the theory?
Just had this done before that.
Yes, so,
But we should be fine. Okay.
should be fine.
I didn't look at the Ben Bledsoe survey, I just looked at Eric's, cause I had a copy of Eric's
And I
already.
have,
We did a classified forest for Keith. Cause he was trying to get them, but then we did it, he couldn't get to it. So he's got me
the
ready.
last minute.
So,
Yeah, that's the one to the south.
And unless you think we should add that survey, we feel
I would
comfortable.
recommend that you probably ought to go ahead and add the Deckard survey here
Okay, well,
in the,
let me go ahead and open up Perry 021 again, and this time ask for a motion with a condition to add Mr. Deckard's, what was the name of
So
the?
you mean Van Buren I-11 is what we're talking about.
yeah, maybe you're not 11.
I
Oh,
think we're
you jumped
done with Perry
ahead.
021.
Oh, so you jumped to the comment.
I just wanted Eric to know
Okay.
that he just worked on this.
She's trying to move this up.
Okay.
I was
along.
anticipating.
Let me just walk back
Right.
that,
But
and
I'm
we'll
looking
move
at this,
forward.
And I see it, I see this big aluminum cap on here, and I didn't recall that, but,
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, what's going on with this cap?
Yeah.
I went out there a second time to put that cap on there, cause I
okay.
didn't bring one with me. It's a long walk.
And this is, okay, so this is one with no history, so we have nothing to reference it on. And it doesn't have the survey that we're discussing in the theory, correct? I just want to make sure.
But you could probably find it pretty
Okay.
quickly if you wanted to by going to Elevate. It's probably linked to the
Yeah.
Williams Cave.
What is you guys' thoughts on that, putting that cap on there? Would you have done that or would you have not done that? Okay, flip it here instead.
Well, I don't see a problem with it as long as we mark it, some, or at least say, hey, we have
We
placed
did
this.
say,
We didn't set it, but we placed our cap on top of it, just like what you did here. I'm good with that.
When I do perpetuations, I set their caps and I stamp my number in it.
Okay.
Because I don't wanna set a cap without my number, but I don't have any nice aluminum caps.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, that's my thought on it. Is as long as there's a record, I wouldn't do it if I wasn't in that. Where that cap came from.
Right. And to continue on some, I guess, discussion with the board, we've talked internally, and like I said, I knew we'd get into this conversation. We could have done it for the update, but I think now's a perfect time too. Mr. Shepherd, wants to witness a tree as kind of a point of reference to get out to the monument, but moving forward, bury rebar for witnesses, versus, setting magnels in trees. And, we wanted to bring that up for kind of a discussion here at the board, because we've always, asked what your thoughts were with some of our, procedures. And so we're
Yeah.
kind of curious.
And I'll elaborate on it. For one, I grew up on a farm and sticking a nail in a tree was expected. And two, I've just noticed all these magnolia people sticking trees in 10 years, you're looking for a scar on the tree. And of course, it's also a good chance to tick somebody off if they get a chainsaw someday.
Yeah, I always put them low where they won't hopefully hit them, but I'm afraid that somebody at some point is gonna
Yeah.
sue me for
Yeah.
hacking their tree.
So I mean,
There's a big black walnut tree that's worth a few thousand bucks.
Yeah, it makes me nervous, and I started using, these little, I don't know what anybody will think about these, but it's called a rebar light. It's a polycarbonate, rebar shaped yellow
Just tell me about
plastic thing, and a magnet fits in the top, it's like really hard to get in, there's no way it's coming out. And I was using those for witnesses because, you're not gonna mix it up with the property owner, and it's, way lighter. If you're hiking really far, that way you don't have to carry 4 rebars, but you can carry 1 rebar and these little lighter things, but they're still really magnetic because of the magnet.
Yeah.
So, and I was putting for Monroe County the caps that say witness, because they're 5/8 inch, and they hold the caps.
Okay.
So, I think they're awesome.
And where do you get those at?
The same place I get my caps is called Mountain Mold and Dye out of Tennessee. I really like the caps because they sort of ring molded, so it has your number and name, and then it's like raised a ring around the outside, so when you hit a hammer, you're not smashing down the letters. Yeah. So I started getting caps from them, and I was like, oh, these rebar lights might be pretty cool for witnesses, and I use them for control points too, because I like my control point to be solid enough I can set the base on it without it squishing down, so I don't want to use the mag hub. But I'm also terrified of hitting utilities, and I'm always calling for locates and stuff, and so putting a 2-foot rebar, sometimes the best place for a control point, I'm like, there could be utilities right here, so I like the plastic, because I figure I probably won't,
You shot to death.
yeah, or break it, or whatever, I don't know.
So
Just
how tough is it?
I
to
feel
get
less
them on?
anxious about it.
How hard are they? I mean, like, for example, if you was into some really hard ground, how durable are they when you really get to swing?
Well, we were out whenever it was 4 degrees, putting them in the frozen ground, and they went in.
Yeah.
Bill got them in with a regular, 2.5 pound hammer. I don't know what I might not have gotten them in. I don't swing the hammer, sorry.
Well,
It looked really hard, but they were fine.
So is the magnet already built into the cab?
No, they sell a really strong magnet, and neodymium, is that the word? I think it is, a magnet that fits in the little hole, so there's a hole in the top. They sell a magnet you can put in there and then put a cap over it, but I didn't like that because I thought, well, what if you hit it and then that magnet falls out?
And you never find it.
But the magnet is like, it was a lot of work to get the magnet into the top of these.
Is there a pre-drilled hole?
There's a hole in the top, and we got exactly the right size magnet to where it's like, you would never get it out.
Oh.
So it's basically like just making a magnet extra long and extra thick.
Right.
It's only I think it's only a 1.5 half-inch magnum. It's not a huge magnum, but I still find that, I mean, sometimes rebars aren't really very strong sounding.
Sometimes.
So I think it's a consistent thing that, but for us, a lot of it's the weight. Cause on like the Green County perpetuations, we might be hiking really far. And those
Okay.
rebars are heavy.
And we're working on the north end, so I could see some trekking going on too.
I can bring you some to check out and see
Yeah,
if you
they
think
go
it's trash or not, you know, cause I mean, we'll be planning to use those on our contract sometimes.
Okay.
I think that would be a good idea, you know, to use something like that that differentiates itself away from just a rebar.
Like a
You know,
standard
for instance,
monument.
Say we've got to set a new monument.
Right.
It's out of the woods, and we're setting a rebar with it, rather than a cap on it or something. Having something different than a rebar, because you get over in Green County and you know, all the squirrels have ate the little red cap off the witnesses.
You don't know.
You don't know which one's which, and depending on who had done it, some of these witnesses are within 25 feet of one another, and it adds confusion. I like that idea.
Well, and the
If
idea of
they're
burying
in their
it too.
quality.
I like the idea of burying it. Cause that's gonna keep people from mixing them up. I got away, or I thought we shouldn't do rebars as witnesses because of seeing how confused people got in Green County. And being like, I know it's one of those pins is the point arena.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's the stone in between those three pins.
Same with witness stones, and in Morgan, they used to put a lot of stones on their witness stones. And a lot of times, witness stone ends up used for building fences instead.
Yep.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so burying it, I think is great, and I don't know, I've just personally, I started, when I was working here, I was like, no way, no rebar witnesses. Then we got witness caps, because I started thinking maybe sometimes, and now I'm like going all the
But
way.
you're right.
Now I'm
3 years
going all
of
the way
squirrels
around.
eating.
Yeah, but I like that idea a lot.
Well, and, you know, but, you know, the nice thing about the trees, or the power poles, or the fence post versus burying rebar, you know,
Well, we're talking just trees.
just versus the trees.
Yeah, I'm still saying, walk in there and say, hey, there's a, Iowa's a kind of measure to the center. I'm still saying have visual trees, but I'm saying this in addition, in case our monument gets knocked out, we'd have.
Okay, so set
I like
set it
that
by the
too.
root system of a tree, of maybe a 10-inch hackberry tree, set it next to it and say, hey, we've got a rebar here next to a hackberry tree, is that what you're saying?
No, I wasn't thinking the root system, because then if it tips up or something, it's gone. I was saying, we're gonna reference 3 trees, so if you walk in there, you're gonna say, oh, look, there's the hickory, there's that. But I'm saying in addition to that, put some reference monuments. I mean, I like the sound of the part she's saying.
Yeah.
So if our monument really does get wiped out, and they can go find those references, they can actually sit on one side to the other, turn it right back in.
I got you.
Versus,
I got you. Yeah, okay.
Overgrown magnell that might be
Yeah.
up.
And that's how,
Tree
on all the ones in roads, we were doing that, making sure we had 3 real, I call them hard control points or hard
Right,
ties.
so they don't have to dig up the road every year.
That you shoot with GPS and that would really have good coordinates on them.
Right,
But you're basically saying do that everywhere.
yeah,
And the trees, we would just measure the same deal, we would take the bearing to the center of the tree and
That's what I've always done.
measure to the side of the
right,
tree at the
right,
center.
yeah.
And maybe
You're-
say how high up we were when we measured and what
Yeah.
side and then.
I would say DBH, the
Yeah.
foresters use diameter breast height.
Mhm.
And 2 added things, I think, is getting the geodetic controls and the fact that this information is available online. So, you know, I think that's going to also mitigate any confusion while you're on the field outside of having a witness that is distinguishable from a monument. So just wanted to add that. I think with all of those things, this is going to be a great addition to what we're doing and also preserving private trees. You know, I've always been curious of how many pissed off landowners were out there for us, you know, putting magnels in their trees. Now we just need to figure out a solution for the ugly yellow sign that people don't like sometimes popping up.
Well,
In there.
at least it's going on a post. Have you guys found those or ordered those aluminum posts yet?
No,
I was gonna ask you about that with your contract coming up.
yeah,
You wanted a few.
and I asked Jason to reach out to you for specs on the, I don't know what you would call them, the witnesses that we're describing,
The rebar lights.
the rebar lights. Okay.
Oh, yeah, maybe we can pull them up after the meeting or something. I know you have to leave in 10 minutes.
To go back to where we're at, but this was good discussion because we had wanted to make sure we brought this up. We're back on Van Buren, I-11, and I think we're ready for a motion with the condition of adding Mr. Deckard's survey. And if you're able to cite the survey, that would be nice in your motion.
I don't know that I can cite the next one because it was in two phases, so,
It's
but
in the
I can
Wayne's
find
case.
it.
It's shown on the
it's
Wayne's
in
case,
Wayne's case,
type A revision.
plat amendment,
Yeah, recorded in 2023.
right? Okay. So motion to approve Van Buren I-11 with the addition added to the theory of location to add the Decker Land Surveying Survey for Wayne's Cave Type A Administrative Subdivision Plat Amendment.
Okay. And,
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second, and I'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. Hearing none. Van Buren I-11 is approved. All right, and that moves us to our last corner. Van Buren Q13. Jason, do you have anything you would want to leave with?
Only thing to note is I spooned a loose PK out of the hole and put a max spike in there. Most of the witnesses were the same. We added a new witness. I think all the witnesses were the same. We just added one.
Yeah, one to the north.
There's not much over on the north, it's just a field.
So yeah, as it states right there in the monument description, 3-inch mag nails, spike and washer set in place of PK nail. So it's right there. As also indicated, witness A, B, and number 10, 30, 14 were all from the 2006 monument that I have on the screen. And then also we grabbed that northern witness just to have more of a triangular kind of witness because everything else was from the south. The last survey we have is 2018, and that was done by Phil Tapp. And I can't tell if those are Jason's feet or Hunter's.
Those are hunters.
I think so, and I figured it out now that I look at the other picture and you're wearing blue jeans.
I think in the old record, they called this Eller Road, but all the modern mapping calls it Lemon Springs Road, so I don't know if that's just a,
This is just down the street from the veterinarian clinic.
It could have been just something I was taking directly off the field notes, could be my error too.
or it could have just been somewhere along the line close to by these became Eller and Lemon Springs were.
I don't even want to know how young I was in 2006, but I started in March and it's November, so I was a year on the job.
So how many of these ties were the same as the old ties?
All the southern ones. Yeah, we, just from conversations with Jason, it's like, let's always try to get, 1 and 3 coordinates or 3 quadrants. It's really hard for me not to fill empty space up with my voice, so I'll read the theory of location. The PK nail and washer were previously witnessed by Monroe County Surveyor Kevin Enright on December 21st, 2005, and accepted by the Monroe County Surveyor Review Board November 21st, 2006. The 2006 monument record accepted the PK nail per the boundary survey of Phil Tapp in 1997 on file in the recorder's office. A survey by Leah, Mr. Deckard's granddad, witnessed the monument in 2005. And James D. Smill had also referenced the monument in 2006. Other references from McGill, which I don't think I've ever met Mr. McGill, referenced the monument in 2014, and also Phil Tapp most recently referenced the monument in 2018.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. I'll do a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, brings us right back to the agenda for our last couple of items. We have public input. I can see that we don't have anyone from the public joining us today. So we'll bring it back to the board. We have adoption of the next meeting date. Donna, do you have that for us?
Hello. I believe it is the 20th.
Okay. So as everyone knows, this is kind of just something we share, and if we have to change it, we will. And we're hoping to have the next meeting in the surveyor's office in the little conference area that's part of my office. So that would be exciting. We might not have a fancy owl, but one camera pointing at all of us, I think, will be efficient. So just a heads up, we'll definitely communicate and let you know well in advance. And thank you, Donna. All right, so we'll move to our last item of business and call for adjournment. We are adjourned. Look at that, 3 minutes early. Elijah, you can shut us down. Thank you so much.
Yep, have a good night.